Hello, everyone. Dr. Vicky here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center. It's time for tarot scopes again. We're going to be doing the tarot scopes for the sign of Libra. That's Libra Sun, Libra Moon, Libra Rising for the month of February. Now, February is a pretty short month, but it is quite a powerful month. It is eclipse season starts, and we have an aspect that only happens every 36 years at a degree that it may never have happened before. So lots of new things coming in February. We'll take a look at the Numerology Kabbalah astrology of February specifically. That'll be the second part. We'll start with a little discussion of your sign, Libra, and then we'll go to your specific astrology, sort of looking at it through the lens of Libra. And then I'll do the card reading. I'm using the Illuminati deck for the card reading, and the StarSeed Oracle is the Oracle deck I'll be using for February. So let's just dive into Libra. So we're looking at Libra 2026, February to be exact. Libra is a cardinal air sign. Cardinal signs are the season starting signs. In the case of the Northern Hemisphere, when the sun moves into Libra, that's the beginning of the fall. And in the Northern Hemisphere, it's the beginning of the fall. In the Southern Hemisphere, it's the beginning of the spring. It is a time, there's only two times in the year where things are at perfect balance. That's when the sun is in Libra, moves into Libra, and that's when the sun moves into Aries. Those are the equinox, equa being equal, equal day and night. Um, so the cardinality of Libra is so Libra is a sign that likes to start things, mainly likes to start relationships, likes to start listening and conversing in Libra. Your mantra for Libra is I relate, and your ruling planet is Venus. Is Venus. Now, Venus just started a new star point. Venus is now in a Capricorn star point, and Venus is now the evening star. And the evening star Venus is in a way, a more comfortable position for Venus as it applies to Libra. The symbol for Libra is the scales, and in fact, it's the only symbol in the zodiac that is not depicted by either an animal or a person. It's actually depicted by a mechanism, the mechanism of the scale. And so Libra is all about balance. So here we have Libra, and I said that the mantra for Libra was I relate. It could also be we are. We are. It is in Libra that we are aware that there is actually another person in the room, and perhaps we need to just talk to them. So, as a Venus rule sign, excuse me, I looked to Venus this month. Venus is moving from 19 degrees of Aquarius to 22 degrees of Pisces. Venus is starts the month in Aquarius in your fifth house of fun and romance, and so that's kind of nice for the Libra. And then it moves into Pisces. When it moves into Pisces, it's moving into your sixth house. Your sixth house is your house of health, your house of service. And Venus is exalted in Pisces. So it's a nice and it's a powerful position for Pisces. And you being a Venus ruled sign, I think it's going to be helpful for you. The only issue is that the Pisces is, as a sign, is in conjunct. Um, um, is in conjunct Libra in the zodiac, and so adjustments are required with that. And one of the issues with Libra that you always have to be careful of is that you don't give your power away in order to keep the peace. With that in conjunct to Pisces, and Pisces being in your sixth house, sometimes you can give people more. I don't know if I'd say then they deserve, but maybe that they're ready to have. Okay, so we also have Uranus stationing direct at 28 degrees of Taurus. That happens on the 3rd of February. Why do I mention Uranus? Is because it is in a Venus rule sign, Taurus, right? So it changes direction very early in the month. Venus on the 8th makes a last quarter square to Uranus. Last quarter squares are crisis in consciousness squares, and it's happening at 28 degrees of Aquarius and Uranus at 28 of Taurus. In fact, Uranus is pretty much at 28 degrees of Taurus the whole month. On the 22nd, we have a waning trine to Jupiter. This is in Pisces and Cancer, Venus in Pisces, Jupiter in Cancer. This is a very lovely aspect. First of all, it's a trine, it's a waning trine, and so it deals with our ability to learn from each other, to look at the big picture, to have a broader perspective, much more understanding. It is a trine of understanding. That, with the fact that Venus is in Pisces, which is exalted, and Jupiter is in Cancer, which is its exalted position. And so we have Jupiter and Venus, the two benefics, sort of working at sort of like top energy here. And on the Tree of Life, if you remember, the 10-1 year is the connection between Venus and Jupiter. So the 22nd is going to be a rather significant day for this year. And usually with trines, we don't necessarily notice them because they don't create a lot of havoc in our life. Things seem to flow, and like when things are going good, you don't want to really change anything, right? But you want to bring in that energy. You want to access that energy to the best of your ability. So it's a really nice. It's going to be a really nice day. And that's 2 days after we have that Saturn Neptune conjunction at the first degree of Aries. So lots of changes happening right around there. I think it's a little bit of a calm in the storm. On the 28th, Mercury stations retrograde in the sign. Oh, Mercury retrograde. I'm sorry. It actually goes retrograde on the 26th, and then it conjoins Venus at 23 degrees of Pisces um, on the 28th. So we have at the end of the month, we have Mercury, which is more sort of introspective in the sign of Pisces, conjoining that Venus, which is exalted in Pisces. So I feel like the end of the year, the end of the month for many of us is a little bit of a calm or a port in the storm of the month. That's pretty much one big storm. So each month I pick a theme, and this month is trees, and the tree for the month for Libra is the maple. Specifically, I believe this is the sugar maple, and I live in New England. And when you see those beautiful colors, the oranges and the reds in the same tree, usually early, because the sugar maples are one of the first trees to change colors. It is glorious. It is beautiful. And of course, it's here in the Northern Hemisphere anyway. It's fall. And it is a beautiful time of the year when the sun is in Libra. So if we look at how all the planets are sort of in one spot, we do have all the inner planets. Well, the sun and Mercury and Venus. Those are the inner planets. We could add the moon when we're looking at like the new moon. We also have Mercury. Did I said Mercury and Mars and Mars. They're all moving sort of together, all moving as at a cluster. And so there's a sort of stellium of planets going through these degrees, January, February, March, and then things start, I think, to break up. Oh no, maybe April too. But there's going to be a concentration. There was a concentration of Capricorn in January, and then we started the concentration of Aquarius in late January, moving into February. And then we're going to have it move into Pisces eventually towards the end of next month and the beginning of March. So Mercury is retrograde. I know Mercury is not your ruling planet, but it is Mercury. It is retrograde. As I said, it goes retrograde on the 26th, and all the retrogrades for the year 2026 are in water signs. So we have a retrograde in Pisces, we have a retrograde in Cancer, and we'll have a retrograde um, in Scorpio. And so, of the 365 days that make up the year, 171 of them are going to have the Mercury, the planet of the mind, the planet of how we take in information, in water. And so it's going to be a very emotional and highly sensitized year when it comes to that stuff. Which for Libra is not really as much of a problem as it is for other signs, but Libra would rather like keep it in the head, but it's willing to go to the other places as well. All right, so we have Pluto in your fifth house, going to be there for a long time. Venus, as I said, starts and then moves into Pisces. Mercury starts also in Aquarius and then moves into Pisces, I believe on the 6th, and on the 23rd uh, it goes retrograde. So it pretty much almost goes all through Pisces before it retrogrades, turns around, and is going to go back and then forward, and that's going to happen next month. Um, so when Mercury's retrograde, the answers lie within, and it's in Pisces. So it's going to be rather mystical. It can be rather mystical, or it can be rather confusing. You see here on the right, we have the Hanged Man um, card. That's the card for the month and the year. And so there is a certain amount of having to decide what it is that you have power over and what you don't. So what you don't, you have to release and let go of and go with the flow. And what you do, again, this is your ability to connect with your higher self. So that's important. It's a meditative month, and here in the Northeast, especially February is one of those months where you generally spend more time inside because it's cold and it's raw outside. I mean, there's a beauty to that too, but this is a time when we're naturally going to want to sort of pull in, and it goes really well with the energy of the Hanged Man. Now, Mars is going to be in Aquarius the whole time. So, all of February, Mars is in Aquarius. So, it's activating your house of romance, but it's also your house of creativity and your house of children. So, you could be very busy with all of that stuff. We also have a new moon on February 1st, actually, in Leo. Leo is your 11th house here. And your sun, the sun will be, of course, in Aquarius. And so we have this full moon in along the axis of love. And so something may come to your attention at this time. And we also have a new moon, right? The new moon is actually in Aquarius. It's at the 29th degree of Aquarius. And not only is it a new moon, but it's close enough to the nodes of the moon to be an eclipse. And so we have a full moon solar eclipse. It is not a total eclipse, but it is an eclipse. And I believe it goes past Greenland and then makes sort of a curve in the middle of the Atlantic and goes into Portugal and Spain. So Greenland, Portugal, and Spain, I think, are the countries where you could see maybe not you could see the actual eclipse from. I believe I'm correct about that. Okay. So, and of course, eclipse season, right? And it's North Node eclipse season. Now, when the sun gets eclipsed by the moon, it's really a very emotional time, right? Because the moon is up front and the sun is sort of hiding behind it. And so a lot of things can come up from our subconscious. So something else that has to be considered with that eclipse. Once the sun goes into Pisces, it's in your sixth house. Now, good news, Saturn will move out of your house of health. On the 13th when it moves into your house of relationship in Aries. That's not necessarily a bad thing for you because it requires you to like make structures within your relationships. And I think that's probably a good thing, knowing where the boundaries are. Saturn is going to conjoin Neptune in that seventh house. And this is a big 36-year cycle. So you're planting a seed, and Saturn is reality and Neptune is imagination. And so you can imagine the exact type of relationship perhaps that you would like to be in if you're not in a relationship. And if you are in a relationship, maybe a new beginning within that relationship. Uranus is retrograde, going direct. It should say direct here. Unfortunately, I didn't put it in the eighth house. And now that it goes direct, it is going to, is it direct? Yes, it's direct. It's going to continue all the way out of Taurus, and by April it moves back into Gemini, where it spent a little time last year. And for you, that Uranus in Gemini is, I think, a little bit easier, if we could say that, but a little less maybe disruptive for you. We also have Jupiter there, retrograde in that 10th house. You're going to be going over some things that, you've moved quite with Jupiter in that 10th house. There's a lot of like forward motion. Jupiter likes freedom. Jupiter likes perspective. Jupiter can kind of overextend itself, and now it's starting to move back. And so you'll have an opportunity to go over some things that maybe you felt you rushed forward for, or, whoever you work for, whoever you work with, you might have an opportunity to sort of step back, reevaluate. And when Jupiter goes direct and then moves back through Cancer, you'll have an opportunity to fix anything that needs fixing. Okay. Let's see. I think that's all I want to say about that. So let us jump into the cards. And I'm going to be using, as I said, the Illuminati deck and the StarSeed Oracle. All right. So what does Libra need to be aware of? What's your message for Libra for the month of February? Illuminati Tarot. We have a gray, cold, precipitous day. It started with snow. Now it looks like it's raining. Very gray, very gray. It's okay. We'll have a fire later tonight and it'll be nicey nice, nice and cozy. Plus, my husband is making one of my favorite dishes, lamb ragu. All right. Oh, we start with the strength card. I like this. Good start. Good start, Libra. So this is about reminding you that you have strength, that you're in a strong position, that you understand the rules of the game here. This is as you sow, shall you reap energy. It's also located energetically on the tree of life, um, in in the area of Gabura and Hesed, and this path is there that connects those, and that's in the throat chakra. So also you may feel like you're finding your voice as we start this month. Let's see what is challenging that. The Six of Cups. Now, the Six of Cups is a card of nostalgia. It's a card of children, so it could be the family, like the memories, the nostalgia around the families. Um, there's something about that that's challenging your ability to stay strong. It could be memories coming up from childhood that you're experiencing. Let's see what's at the root of this. We have the Prince of Swords. It seems like maybe somebody said something or did something without thinking, and it brought something up for you or brought something up within the family. I don't know if that's the case, but this is the Prince of Swords is the prince that sort of rushes in. Now, this could be you, rushes in before they really think about. what they're creating. So you may feel very strong, and you might have said something within your environment, and people are now like all fussed up about it. Let's see what's in the past. Healing. Okay, so you've done your healing. You're ready. You're ready to sort of come out of whatever closet you've been hiding in, I think, because you've been through it. Let's just say you've been through a big trial, a big trial. Let's see what's in the sky. We have the Six of Wands, which is the victory card. So there's luck and victory available to you. In fact, the people in the outer world might say, wow, look at her. In the immediate future, we get the Six of Pentacles. So this is, the sixes aren't necessarily associated with family per se, except that six is a number of responsibility and mothering and the like. So I always sort of connect the six to the family, but this is a fair distribution of resources. And so if you did say something, it's probably for the best. If somebody else said something, I think whatever caused the upsetment um, might actually come to a resolution this month. Either the inheritance happens and it's never that everybody's happy, but everything is fair. I want to say things come out fairly when it comes to money. Now, this may not be your story, may have nothing to do with your family or inheritance, but know that you will be compensated fairly in February. How it's seen from the outside, somebody who is concerned with resources, and why wouldn't you be? It's a very it's a difficult time with resources. It's not exactly the easiest time on planet Earth with resources. And so why not care about that, right? Your domestic situation, oh, we get the Ten of Cups, so that's happy family. So I think that things are calming down in that place. Your hopes and fears, we get the Ace of Cups, you're hoping for happiness, who wouldn't? And the outcome, we have the Five of Cups. So there is some loss here. There is some mourning that you have to do. But don't forget that there are cups available to you. You still have what you need. Let's see if we can get a major arcana. It really is about getting over it. We have the Queen of Swords. So that's the queen with good judgment. And we have the Hierophant, which is tradition and listening to the small, still voice within. It is a Taurus energy. It is a Taurus energy. So um, I feel like things are going to resolve for you, but there is going to be some tears shed over it. Yeah, things just can't stay the same, right? Things can't just stay the same. All right, let me pick let's see what's underneath it. I didn't do that. Oh, okay. Justice, fairness. This is your card, Libra. Eight of Swords. I'm feeling like you can't speak or you can't say something. And then the Two of Swords, stalemate. Um, as I said, I don't think it's going to necessarily be an easy peasy kind of month, like completely like, oh, it's a great month for you. There's going to be challenges. Maybe people see you in a way that you would prefer they didn't see you, but you don't have control over that. What people think of you is their business, not yours. Which, of course, for Libra is like, no, it's all my business. I have to be aware of the other. And in point of fact, very often, one of the symbols for Libra is a mirror because we mirror back to each other, right? So whatever you're seeing in someone else, um, and it's something that you maybe admire in them, and you feel like maybe you don't have it. Know that you have it. And when people have issue with you, and they see something in you that they don't like in themselves, they're going to give you crap. But it's really a lesson for them, right? We're all here to walk each other home. All right, so let me pull Oracle card. Let me get these cards out of the way here. I got cards flying all over the floor here, which, you wouldn't think is a problem until you get to a certain age, and then you gotta bend down and get all this stuff. Okay, I got it. 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 Oh, sorry, I'm not in focus. I really do have an issue with lighting. I really like the light in this room for it's just a nice soft sort of winter light, but it doesn't do very well for reading cards. So let me see if I can focus in. How do you like how do you like that trick? Okay, so let's see what the Starseed Oracle has to say for you, Libra. Starseed Oracle. It's done by somebody named Rebecca Campbell, and the artwork is by Danielle Noel, and the artwork is just fantastic. A lot of times I get decks for the art, and then I go, oh, what does it say? What is it talking about? All right. We have Star Brothers. Star Brothers. That is Horus. That is Horus. Okay. I will read this to you. Somebody else got this. One of the other signs got it. So if you're one of those other signs, your ascendant, your moon, maybe, um, this is doubly important for you. Okay, I'll hold it up so you can see it because it is a beautiful card, and I'll read it to you. Horus energy, protection, loyalty, safety, and trust. You are more protected than you might imagine. It's safe to open the back of your heart. You are being called to open to receiving a new level of support now from those in your life or from the benevolent beings you're connected with. Through ancestral patterning, current life traumas and past life karmic impressions. Many of us have become mistrustful and suspicious of loyalty and have blocked it when it comes to receiving support. We've learned that we need to go it alone. That it's not safe to let our guard down or our heart open. That world isn't a friendly place, that the world isn't a friendly place. The Star Brothers want you to have a new experience of life on earth. They want you to feel deeply secure and safe, even if you're going through a difficult time. They want you to hand over your fears to them, to see them as opportunities or to see them as opportunities to let in more love. They're guiding you to stay open to receiving a greater level of support that you can even imagine, both in this world and beyond. So your helpers will be both people and spirit. They want you to learn to soften through life's ups and downs, and to learn to open your heart, especially when it most wants to harden. Can you open yourself up to receiving more support? Can you? According to the Starseed Oracle, you need to. All right. Well, I hope you find this reading helpful, the astrology helpful. Um, I am starting a beginner's astrology class in February. It's going to be on Monday evenings. It's a 6-week course, all the basics, signs, houses, and the like. And I'm also starting a new Kabbalah group that's going to be starting um, May 7th, I believe. It's a Thursday. It's Thursday night, 6-week course on consecutive Thursdays. All my classes and courses are recorded as I do them, and you do get the recording. So if you can't make every class, you can certainly get every class. So it's the good news. All right. Take care, everyone. Have a great month. I'll see you next month for Taroscopes, or I'll see you in the morning for my daily astrology. Take care, everyone. Have a wonderful day. Namaste.